we're into game.
And I'm sure you guys have also all hung out in the lounge in-game as well and chatted over there. I forgot it was a VR game, and I heard someone start talking to me in the lounge, and it kind of freaked me out for a second, but, you know.
Well, these players not going for a double Viper duel, so they've both gone down in my estimations, but I cannot blame them. So on the left-hand side, we have Woody, who is bringing that Drunken Raptor Ellipse. That is a faster Raptor Ellipse shot, but it has spread, so it's less predictable. I'm a big fan of this weapon. I feel that the spread actually helps you in top-level plays. It makes it slightly harder to predict, even though it's harder to aim.
Yeah, but definitely going for a slightly more offensive build, obviously with the double Raptors, the Wildcat, and the Luma. The Hammernade is really the biggest in terms of that space controlling. Of course, over there on the right side, Master, we saw this before. Actually, no, he does have a Cortex shield, so he's not going with all 6 offensive weapons. He is at least has one defensive option here with that Cortex shield. But other than that, as you see, Viper Ellipse, Hammer Ellipse, and Raptor Ellipses. He's always had all 3 ellipses in his loadout, but then just has the Wildcat and the Hammer as well. So still going for a little bit more of the aggressive loadout.
So I will say that Rudy's Raptor, that split Raptor, because it slows down, remember, that is good podium denial as well on top of that Hammernade. But I like Rudy's loadout versus Master's strictly because it's faster, it's going to be able to offer more counter pressure and interrupt these Hammer Ellipse Hammer setups. Plus, again, Raptor, most of Wildcat's damage is just coming from the front, making it easier for Woody to dodge. We've got 7 seconds left. Woody with an advantage. Master has to hit a Viper Ellipse, which isn't actually.
If he gets one in there, he could definitely take the lead, but it's just not going to happen there, especially to, you know, just having that shield available to himself right at the end as well.
Again, you know, I'm not sure what the Cortex shield choice was. Yeah, it doesn't. You know, obviously you don't know what your opponent's going to bring beforehand, but I mean, Cortex Shield is good against bullet hell loadouts, but I just wouldn't really expect that. It's
Master17 taking a little bit of early damage here means that Woody has the advantage, but again, the ability for Master to be able to dish out a ton of damage, you know, very, very quickly is high, especially with that Viper. However, Woody has been doing such a good job on the defensive side here, avoiding all the little tiny chip damage here. So it's not adding up to a point where even a single Viper shot right now would put Master even catching up. And look at this Master just taking all sorts of little chunks here and there and down to basically no health already.
I don't want to call it, but I feel Master's soul has left his body for this round. He doesn't look like he's fighting for it. But, you know, sometimes the way is you just, if you're going to lose a game, you know, you don't put yourself through the hardship of really putting yourself out there necessarily. You take a deep breath, you know, maybe do a loadout swap, which is what we're seeing here now, and come back with a different strategy. And Master's got to get rid of this Cortex shield because it doesn't seem to be helping. It's not going to help him against Woody's loadout. It definitely didn't help him against Wesso's loadout. So I would say if he wants to keep a shield, get an Aegis shield. You know, it pretty much will do the same thing, but with lower cooldown and higher HP.
Right. I mean, the trickiest part about the Aegis shield is obviously it requires a little more timing because it just doesn't last as long. You kind of have to parry things with it and such. But outside of that, it still accomplishes a lot of the same things as the Cortex shield. It's smaller, it's faster, but again, it also has a faster cooldown, so it'll come back a lot quicker as well.
Well, at this level of play, really, you know, unless you're going up against big waves and big walls of bullets, you know, it's going to have pretty much exactly the same use. Because against Woody's loadout, you know, what it's going to shield maybe like some Raptor as Wildcat bullets. Well, you can kind of shield a lot of Wildcat bullets with just an Aegis shield and then use the handle to do the rest and avoid a few of them. But also, I think that Master should get off this Hammer Ellipse. Woody's loadout is all pressure. It's all counter pressure. It's really quick points of damage. So every time he's going to go for those clamps and try and set up a bush, Woody just picks up a Wildcat, picks up a Raptor Ellipse, just starts shooting him. So putting him off balance, and he's not able to set up these clamps as effectively as he might want to.
Yeah, but as we've seen so far, Master has not gone away from that triple ellipse setup, that triple ellipse loadout yet thus far. So curious to see if he is going to go with that, or if he's going to try to go for something a little more, with more grenades or more, space controlling right now, because right now, honestly, he has really just gone for very direct damage. He's just trying to shoot you at this point. And as you said, the hammer ellipse hasn't been doing the space controlling, the position controlling that, a lot of other tools could potentially do better.
Well, don't get me wrong, the hammer ellipse is probably the best weapon in the game almost at space controlling, but it's not the best weapon in space controlling when you don't have the opportunity to use it effectively. Because essentially, because of the way it works, you can do a slow pull to the left, a slightly faster pull to the right, and then a faster pull down, up or down, or kind of any direction. And because you're controlling the speed at which you're pulling them, the bullets are going to bend around and then hit the podium at different speeds, and preferably all at the same time. Trouble is, it's quite a precise setup, and it can, if you're really good at clamping, like if you are like Josie, Tesseract, Monty Band, or 24, who, in my opinion, best clampers in the game, then you can just wall off most of the podium at once. But if you've got a really quick loadout against you, which is constantly putting pressure on you, when you're doing that slow one, then suddenly you're trying to dodge out the way.
Right.
And then you're trying to do the right one, and again, you're still trying to dodge, so you can't quite get the arm movement as you'd like. You're going to mess up.
Well, it does sound like Master17 gave us a little preview and said that he is going to bring the double Vipers, as you see right here. Master17 now on the blue side, Woody on the purple side, but Master is indeed wielding the double Viper.
He's also got the Vandal, which is a niche weapon, which is used. Traditionally, it's been used to destroy, grenades and some shields, novas, because it has very high collision. But Master typically will use this for vision denial, because it leaves a little bit of vision blocking, so he's going to be trying to shoot Woody in the face and then hit him with some Vipers.
Yeah, you see, every time you see that little black orb right there, almost kind of like that muddy orb, that is the result of the Vandal striking a target. And yeah, it doesn't do any damage, but it's very fast. And look at this, Master17 landing a couple of those Viper shots, and already Woody down to almost no health.
Yeah, this is a build which I actually saw Master bring in VRML finals, and I repeatedly said, the Vandal's not doing anything for him. But he just won more when he brought it. I still don't understand it myself, but Master makes the Vandal work, and it works for him, and maybe it's just a confidence thing, but doing very well. Lands that Raptor Ellipse shot in Woody's face to close out the round one.
Yeah,
This is not a loadout that Woody should not be expecting. It's one that he's seen Master run before, and I interrupted you, so please go ahead. Apologies.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. No, I mean, again, the Vandal does no damage, if I'm not mistaken. It's just, it's just there for the vision obscuring and also to take out the weapons as well. So, yeah, very interesting decision by Master to go with it, but it seemed to work out in the last one, in the last round.
Everyone wants to make Vandal work, though, because it's a cool weapon and it does no damage. So it's just it's essentially a shield, which is a sniper, which works on 5 bullets.
Right, exactly. It's like a gun shield, essentially. See, there you go, trying to obscure his vision right there, and landing those shots. But Woody knows he doesn't really need to dodge it, and he didn't really have anything to follow up with it. But he's got the double Vipers right now, so gotta be careful.
And that's Woody's full combo there. He shoots out the Raptor attachment 3, flips and goes slow to the podium, throws out the grenade and it's not a combo which kind of covers the entire play space and stuff.
Oof.
But it works, and it's really low cooldown, and it's very quick to set up.
Master taking a huge hit right there. Now, when the Vandal hits a bullet, it actually just goes into the the black orb right away. So sometimes when you shoot something close to you, it can kind of obscure your own vision in a weird way too.
Yeah, it is. Oof, lovely shot there from Master, just taking the lead against Rudy. And you know, Woody's got to do a little bit of damage, which he does not
but
do.
20 seconds is not needed for that beautiful shot from the Viper. And there you go. Master puts a game on the board with this double Viper loadout. So do you think maybe we'll see Woody try to counter with his own double Viper? Nope. Okay.
I would love that to be the case. I think Woody just, you know, needs to work out how to play against this and then adapt. Woody obviously doesn't feel that loadout's what is needed yet. And we're going to see if that's true.
Master now still trying to put work in with that Vandal over here, but trying to control that space. You see he sent the Hammer Ellipse over there coming from the left side. Woody doing the same thing. Now Master's down in life, but again with the Viper you're never out of anything just yet.
The one thing I would say about Woody is he's going to the front of his podium a lot, which is what you want to do when you want to put pressure on the opponent. But you don't want to be doing it when Master's got Vipers in his hands. You've seen him walk to the front of his podium with that Luma in hand trying to put pressure and then just catch a Viper to the face, and he's lost the trade. That's just how it works.
Right. However, nice lead right now. In fact, one Luma should be able to kill. So actually, now anything is going to be able to kill. Oh, he got hit on the head while on the ground. Not sure what Master was doing, rolling on the ground over there. And he's going to go down this first round.
Good start from Woody. Master just eating some early bits of damage here, and already he's down to about 60% health. Not the start of the 20 seconds he wants. And Woody kind of showing that he doesn't actually need a loadout swap. He just needs to adapt and you know, play better. And a lot of times it is understanding what your opponent's trying to bring, some of their attack patterns and their dodge patterns, and then countering that.
Yeah, and again, you know, as you mentioned earlier, the Vandal, you talked about, you know, an odd decision. I don't feel like the Vandal is doing much here because he's taken out like little singular bullets here, but, you know, as you mentioned, Aegis would probably be able to do a lot of the similar things, you know, and just be able to be better on defense, I feel like.
Yes, but Master wants full offense, you know.
Yeah, there's definitely a philosophy here right now from Master. He really enjoys having this offensive loadout. He really likes to go for just shooting. That is definitely one of his favorite tactics right there. You see him pushing forward on his podium right there to try to get some damage. 30 seconds left, and Master once again taking lots of little chip damage and then gets shot there, and Woody is going to go up 2-1 over Master. And yep, we're returning back here. Maybe Master's going to try to go for a change in loadout. The double Vipers worked out for that one game that he got, but again, at this point in time, perhaps maybe want to consider taking out the Vandal and, you know, going for something that's more space controlling, you know, try to cover up areas to push them into your Vipers a little bit more. But again, that just doesn't seem to be Master's style.
I was actually just about to say maybe on another player, but that's not Master's style. That was my follow-up to your thing, but you already answered it. So, but no, you are right. But I think Master's going to continue playing double Viper. I don't think he'd do that to me and get off double Viper. Would you, Master? Would you? But no. But you know, just before we saw that round end, you saw Master pick up a Vandal, just shoot like that, annihilating the Hammerade. And that's a 4-second gun, which just in one of its 5 shots took away 5 second CD from Moody. Right. And also, you know, sometimes when they're setting up a hammer, that's worth trading more than 5 CD, even though it's the same. You're losing on cooldown supposedly, but because it also completely nullifies the rest of the push, you're also kind of counteracting not just that 5 cooldown damage, but, you know, the tool cooldown from the Raptor, and potentially even a large part the 4 cooldown from the Luma follow-up, because it's easier to dodge. It's not, you know, quite that linear. You know, there's lots of different things in play, but always worth trying to deal with a Hammerade when that's the main form of combo setup. The other thing to remember, though, is Woody's genuinely considered, you know, the more likely player to advance.
Right.
I don't think that's too out there for me to say. He's been a dominant player in the game for so long, always been in people's top 5, top 6 lists. The reason I keep saying top 6 is because I had a top 6 because I couldn't separate him and Golden Knight and Wesso.
I mean, Woody was basically the first best player in Blaston, right? Playing from a long time ago.
I think if we go back into the Blaston lore, there was a player called Mimi, actually, but that's so far before everyone kind of played Blaston. You know, back when you could have 2 of the same weapon. You could have 2 hammer ellipses.
Oh,
yeah. They kind of patched that because that got crazy.
That's a completely different game. Holy moly! Okay.
But he is the player that got a lot of people into the sport as well, because, you know, a load of us, including me, lots of us have gone out there, watched his YouTube videos on how to play the game. Now, I don't want to say they're outdated now, but they were all based on really previous patches. But that's something that most, like Slowid in his interview said, yeah, I watched Woody's YouTube videos to try and get better. And that's how I did get better. But Master's always been one of these players, which everyone has said has got a lot of potential, really good. You know, he's really good. But hasn't achieved that kind of top level status yet. He's always been flirting with like the top 10 players in the game. And there's been disagreements on whether he's there or not. A lot of those disagreements might have come just as a reactionary to him saying I'm top 10. But he is very good. I just think that we have to kind of come into this with the context that Woody's probably the favorite. And Master is playing that build that he's brought. That's a build that I know he's comfortable with because I've seen him play in other tournaments. And we're getting to game now, so let's see if there have been changes. Yeah,
I mean, it's so funny to me because you say, you know, Master said that he called himself top 10. And just based on the loadout that he has, you know, I feel like that's all like part of the package right there, you know, the very aggressive, very brash kind of style, and I like it. And just so people know, Master now on the purple side of things over here. Woody now, the blue player here in this match.
Well, he swapped out that Vandal for a Hurricane, a fast full Hurricane, which I really agree with, you know.
Right.
And it's just going to add more pressure to Woody's podium. Less defensive, but, you know, as we say, it's Master doesn't really need defense. Or want defense.
Yeah, I like this idea because you're throwing so many bullets from the front that, you know, hopefully you can make Woody so busy dodging from the front that these hurricanes coming from above will catch him off guard.
And Master's very low HP. He's kind of sitting at the back there, and you know, a Viper Ellipse shot to the face on Woody will tie things up. Potentially giving the game.
Can't take a single hit, and there it is. That spread shot from the Hammernade gonna find its mark. So despite Master17 with a nice strong start there, it is Woody now who is at match point. The double Vipers have not been finding their mark here.
An interesting thing about that Hammernade is it actually does more damage than regular Hammernades. It does 6 damage rather than 4. So that's another reason those pellets are just so much worse to dodge. And Master just eats a Luma. Doesn't seem to try and dodge it at all. And seems to eat another one as well.
Oof. Oh, but there we go. Gets a Viper shot. Yeah, got it from above right there. So keeping close, at least at this point. But also, is it just me, or is a lot of his Hurricane shots more straightforward than coming down from the top? It seems more like he's just kind of shooting the Hurricanes straighter.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. There's the upward ones.
But there's another thing to this, which is as you just kind of. That's the game. That's the match.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That last chunk of life just dissipated. And there we go. Woody is the victor of this. And so Master is going to be out of the tournament officially. But as I mentioned, we'll be walking away with $125 in. You know, if you're 17, $125 for playing video games, pretty good.